not a competition. Tulane versus North Texas, and James Madison getting in if Duke loses.
Yeah.
How does Duke beat Virginia? Duke can't beat Virginia. Jim Phillips,
If
I'm
Duke
talking
wins.
to you in the ACC if you want to be relevant. The main thing, though, Tony, is if Alabama loses the SEC title game, they would suffer in a way that a Notre Dame couldn't because Notre Dame doesn't have a conference tournament game. How do you reconcile?
So I'm gonna take these in the order that you said them.
All right.
The Alabama Notre Dame thing comes into play if and only if BYU beats Texas Tech. Because if BYU beats Texas Tech, then two Big 12 teams are going to advance. That's going to eliminate, I believe, either Alabama or Notre Dame. I find it very interesting that they jumped Alabama over Notre Dame this week. I believe the committee is setting up for this. That if Alabama, which has beaten Georgia already this season, if they lose to them in the SEC championship game and it's reasonably close,
third loss.
I understand that. And so you ask, can a three-loss team, Alabama, get in over a two-loss team, Notre Dame? And I believe the committee is positioning that to happen. And then I think Texas is going to go crazy because they have three losses, and they've beaten Oklahoma and A&M who are getting in. Yeah. So I think I've handled that for you. What's the other one? You want to go to Miami? Now, Miami and Notre Dame?
Did Miami
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Fiddle to Notre Dame?
We're going to look at the committee right now. The committee has kept Miami at 12. 12's not going to get in because of conference champions. 12's not going to get in. So they keep them there. That is a signal that they will not employ the head-to-head and move Miami over Notre Dame.
So it seems like you're okay with that. But you're not okay with Alabama jumping Notre Dame.
No, you're asking me what I think is going to happen. I didn't get to the okay part. But they're also going to take, it looks like they're going to take at least two, well, not at least two, but two. Group of five,
yeah.
Because that's
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I understand.
I don't know who I want to leave out.
You like underdogs. Am I okay with the head-to-head? The head-to-head happened a long time ago. Notre Dame has two losses in the first 2 weeks by a total of 4 points. Yeah. Miami's losses are worse than that. Notre Dame has run the table, as you like to hear, since then. I think Notre Dame is, but I do think the committee is setting up to get rid of Notre Dame and keep Alabama. I do. I think that's what they're doing.
If it comes down to to Miami and Notre Dame, then they're setting to keep them.
I think they will keep Notre Dame. I thought that is the indication I have.
You ignore head-to-head. I'd come at you. I'm going to come at him.
Go ahead.
All right?
You haven't paid attention all year.
Like,
you're paying attention.
It'll be like, did Dak get his money?
No, every day.
I'll be like the dog on a postman's pant leg.
Good.
We've had many college coaching hires of late, but the Penn State job remains curiously open. BYU head coach Kalani Sitake is the latest to spurn the school's interest, re-upping to stay in Provo. On his podcast yesterday, Ben Roethlisberger suggested that Mike Tomlin would be a potential fit, adding that while the Steelers should not fire Tomlin, perhaps a fresh start is best for everybody involved. Tom, what do you make of Penn State's problem, and what do you make of Big Ben's potential solution?
It's okay if we say this. It's okay if you and I say that the time is done for Mike Tomlin there and he ought to go to Penn State. It's a great landing spot. It's okay because we're Muppets on a television show. We did not play football for Mike Tomlin. Ben Roethlisberger did. Ben Roethlisberger just came out, basically, a coach who took him to a Super Bowl and said, your time's done, get out of here. Ben Roethlisberger played his entire professional career in Pittsburgh. He matters in Pittsburgh. And now he's saying it's time for Mike Tomlin to do this and then do this. My reaction is wow. If this was what's the word, my word would be wow. Now he tries to soften it by saying that Tomlin could win national championships there, right? And I get this. Everybody in Western Pennsylvania cares about Penn State more than anything else other than the Steelers. Everybody in Eastern Pennsylvania cares about Penn State more than anything else about the Eagles. There's resonance about what Penn State's going to do. But Roethlisberger said, well, he's a great recruiter. He's a great recruiter. He's been in the pros. He hasn't recruited anybody. That's a direct quote, great recruiter. I don't know, it's a wow.
I watched this on camera, and I could see the difficulty that Ben Roethlisberger was having. And I give him credit for trying to reconcile these positions. Okay? I love Mike Tomlin, as you do.
And you love Ben Roethlisberger.
You have from the day you met him.
I love him.
Okay.
Love him.
It's time. It's just time to do something.
Again,
you know what?
Does it matter?
You know what we are experts on even more than Mike Tomlin? Doing something for 19 years because we've done it twice in different places.
Right.
It's time.
Right.
It's just time. He's great at it. He'll be great at it wherever he goes. It might be on a network. It might be in a locker room. He's going to be great.
He has said he
It's
doesn't
time.
want college football.
And
He
by
has
the
said
way,
that before.
He has said it
He
before,
wanted
but that was before.
Okay.
That was before you could get anybody you wanted
So it's
and
time-
have any dollar amount you want in terms of including matching your salary.
It's time for him. Maybe it's time for us.
By the way,
Maybe it's time for us.
By the way, Penn State,
Yeah.
go get somebody. Stop screwing around.
They will. Let's move to the NBA and Los Angeles Clippers, who are now 5-16 and a complete disaster. They announced this morning that Chris Paul is no longer a part of their team. The Clippers sent Paul back to L.A. from Atlanta on a one-way ticket. Paul had announced this would be his last season. He's averaging 2.9 points, 3.3 assists, 14 minutes a game. Wilbon, Chris Paul is your friend, and I know that. What do you make of this? And have you talked to him?
You
haven't talked to him, have you?
No, I have not talked to him intentionally. And this is hard for me to reconcile. Look, Chris Paul is one of the great leaders. Charles Barkley has for 15 years called Chris Paul the best leader of this generation. And it's not by accident that I agree with Charles on that. Chris is tough. As Devin Booker said on the eve of starting a season that would end in the NBA Finals, Chris isn't for everybody. And Devin knew what he was saying. He's tough. When I talked to Chris Paul, and we've written a book together, I edited, he wrote. Right. Chris has notes. The notes are copious. He is intentional. He is specific. He's tough. He doesn't like load management. Chris Paul is an old-fashioned, old-school tough guy, and he'll go right at Kawhi Leonard and James Harden and even T. Lue. And I thought they used to be the best of friends. Maybe I'm wrong about that. They haven't spoken.
Let me ask you a question.
They used to be.
Let me refer
Chris
back
Paul
to this
is
show.
not for everybody.
Let me refer back to this show.
Right.
Is it his time to go? It's his time, isn't it?
Maybe.
It's his time.
Maybe.
When I heard about this morning, my reaction was, wait a second. Are the Clippers going to somehow scapegoat Chris Paul
Yes.
for this?
That's what they're doing.
God-awful
That's what they're
5-16
doing.
season? Are they going to say that the 11 minutes a game he plays is his result?
You know who this is on?
Look,
This is on Kawhi Leonard and James Harden first, because they're the two best players on the team.
It's on
and your
somebody-
best
it's on
players
other
in the NBA.
Wait. I'm not a Chris Paul guy. You know that. You're a Chris Paul guy.
I am.
You know, my sense of this is that it's on the general manager and the coach. Okay. They stink. They have lost 14 of their last 16 games. That's right. They lost 14 of the last 16 games. They got the oldest team in the league, and their best player plays half the time. All right, so it's on.
I named those players.
Chris Paul, my guess is there's a
goes
clash
right at it.
with Tyronn Lue. There's a
clash, we're told.
And they say,
there's a clash with everybody, any locker room that Chris Paul's in. It works better with younger players. I'm told that those older players said his voice is too loud. Well, where are their voices? When you stink like the Clippers, are you going to blame it on Chris Paul?
It's time for him to go. It's time. Okay. Let's take a break. Coming up, why is Lamar Jackson struggling? We're going to ask Steve Young what he sees.
We'll also ask him whether Max Brosmer is taking too much heat for that thing on Sunday. You know what? Chris Paul can either do TV, he can coach, he can be in a lot of places. A lot of people could use Chris Paul right now.
But the Clippers can't.
No.
They stink.
We agree.
No,
we agree.
Pardon the Interruption is presented by Grey Goose. Grey Goose, part of Happy Hour.
We have football questions for our great friend and the man who talked me out of retiring from the NFL more than once. Hall of Fame quarterback Steve Young. Let's start with something Wilbon does not want me to talk about, the Dallas Cowboys.
That's right.
He hates them.
That's right.
Doesn't want to talk about them. They've been hot, and they now face the Lions. I'm going to talk about them. Dak Prescott has George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. How does it change the game for you when you have two receivers of that high quality?
Yeah, Jerry Rice and John Taylor, man, I'm telling you. Today's Wednesday. Today's installation day in the NFL. And what matters is the defense that now is going to play the Cowboys. The installation is all about George and CeeDee. Like, watch where they're going, where they line up, where they happen. And what happens, it sinks into their psyche throughout Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. By the time those guys come out of the tunnel to warm up, you have an advantage. And it's an advantage that's like unseen, but it happens on the field. And then you have the physical advantage in the game. So you actually double. You have a perceptional benefit, and you actually have a reality benefit. And I think Dak's going to take advantage. The one thing about the Cowboys, though, Tony, and that's why Michael doesn't want to talk about them, because if they're hot, they're about to not be hot. So that's the part
right.
you got to watch for.
Amen.
You got to watch for that. We waited 25 years for the full potential, the full measure of the Cowboys to come into view. It always feels like they have this huge potential and it never gets realized. So fun to talk about them for a minute and see if they can actually do it.
All right, this next question, Steve, I want to give myself a semi-pat on the back. Because a few weeks ago, I asked you if it seemed to you, like it does to me, that Lamar Jackson has lost his it, his pop, his magic. And now I'm more convinced of it than ever because linebackers are catching him that never would have caught you in his prime, you in your prime, or him. So are you seeing this yet? Am I crazy? What are you seeing with Lamar Jackson?
Last week really were like, he's diminished physically. You can see it, and you can see it in his demeanor. You can see it in his play. It's like when you're hurt and you can't be all of yourself, and it kind of gets into your head, your whole athleticism, like now you're not as good a passer. Now you're not watching, you're not ahead of the data, and you're not seeing the open guy as much. It's like you're just diminished as a player, and you got to get back to health. And so I think the thing that's shocking me is that the team is not responding by, look, Lamar, we're going to ask less of you physically, but we still need you to play elite quarterback from the pocket and throw that ball over the field and get those 350-yard, 400-yard games that you've had in the past. And we won't ask you to run around so much because somehow they got to find, or else get healthy, because it's hard to watch Lamar in this spot. It's painful.
Tony?
You guys know how much I love him.
Yeah. We do too. We love watching him.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, that's not really Lamar Jackson. We're going to stay in division and go to Joe Burrow, who told Albert Breer he's trying to find the fun in football again after dealing with his injuries the last 2 years. You went through this whole process over many years in the NFL. How important to you was fun in the equation?
Look, I'm going to be authentic and real about this. My dad used to scream at me because I worry so much. You're like, Steve, my dream is that I get to play football, the game I love, for money, and you get to go out there and, like, just have fun. And I'd be like, fun? Like, I got to go out there. Like, Joe Montana never threw an incompletion. He never lost a game. He never, like, I've got lots to worry about it. So I dealt with it. I love the idea of Joe and Patrick Mahomes is the ultimate, right? He's playing in his backyard. That's the magic of Patrick Mahomes. I want to be Patrick Mahomes, to just be in my backyard, playing at Arrowhead and for the championship, and just feel like, pass me a drink from the patio. I'm good. Like I love the presence of that. That makes me feel like aspirational. Like I would love to be that guy. And Joe working on that. If I was playing like today, I'd be on the same journey. Like, how can I be more joyful and fun in the moment? I admire the effort, and I applaud it, because it was a long ways away, it felt like.
We will get you out of here on this. Vikings quarterback Max Rossmer, I hope I pronounced that correctly, got ridiculed for his 4th-and-1 pick six. But head coach Kevin O'Connell said it was totally on his play call, and no one on the line blocked DeMarcus Lawrence. So from a quarterback's perspective, which you will have, who is actually to blame for that one?
So you're getting